Right, let's bring in Tomi here. Look, Tomi, you and I have discussed guns, I mean, it seems like forever. This is a Groundhog Day debate. I'm not going to sit here as a Brit and tell Americans how to lead their lives. I tried that once. It didn't go down very well. So let's try a different tactic here, which is, I think the key phrase which I heard there from Ashby was, rather than using gun control, which is complete anathema to many Americans, particularly in a British accent, because you, as you rightly point out, drove us out with guns. So you don't want to hear it from us. I get it. I get all that. But she mentioned gun safety. What can be done to make things safer? Because things far from getting safer in America, all what's happening is the number of guns in circulation are exponentially increasing, well over 400 million now. And so the number of shootings are increasing, mass shootings, school shootings, everything's increasing. You, as an American citizen, cannot be happy about that, surely. What do we do about it?
Well, I will tell you this. I want to talk about the mental health aspect of this in a moment, but first I want to address the gun rights and the gun safety debate in question. So here in the United States, we use guns to protect everything that we hold near and dear, to protect our politicians, our celebrities, our red carpets, our jewelry stores, you name it, everything that we deem important. We put people with firearms that are trained to use those firearms to protect those entities and those individuals. We do not protect our schools like we should. And if you look into this shooter's background, you look into their manifesto, they had a map of this school, because what we use to protect our schools is a little sign that says gun-free zone. So when you're looking at soft targets, if you are a psychopath, a freak, a monster, you look for places where you can go and cause carnage and damage where nobody will be able to stop you. Now, thank God for our Nashville officers that responded so quickly and were able to neutralize that monster and that threat. But had we had somebody outside of that school that was trained with a firearm, they could have neutralized that threat almost immediately.
Tomi.
We need to look into protecting our schools.
Okay, but we know what happened at Uvalde. There were hundreds of good guys with guns, and none of them had the guts to go and do anything about it, and 20 kids got killed. So it's not a given that actually if you have a load of people who are good people with guns in these schools, it makes any difference. We saw what happened on the video here about what this person did.
Interesting debate, but Piers Morgan actually trying to compare the regulation of cars, speed limits, and driver's licenses to firearm ownership. We don't use cars to defend ourselves from tyranny. We need firearms to do that. And I wish Tomi brought up that point, that you can't compare guns and cars. They serve two different purposes. They're entirely different items, right? Firearms, the purpose of the Second Amendment is to protect yourself. Cars don't do that. And so the regulation debate is moved off the table when you look at why our Second Amendment was written in the first place. And in terms of the mental health crisis, that's where our resources need to be. That's what our focus needs to be on, because as Tomi Lahren made the point as well, criminals by nature, by definition, don't respect laws. A criminal by definition is someone who breaks the law. And so more laws and more regulation is not going to stop criminals from perpetrating these crimes or these horrific mass shootings. Drug dealers, human traffickers are more emboldened than ever. There's laws against them. Death penalty in some states. Doesn't deter them. They're criminals. They're going to do what they want to do, especially when you're so mentally deranged and so freakish that you have an idea in your head to shoot up a school. You will do whatever is necessary to fulfill that sick fantasy. So we need to focus on the mental health. Piers Morgan relating cars to guns is a ridiculous argument.